Yeah, so welcome back to another episode of the Clever Angle Podcast. Today, I have my good friend Spencer Bounds in the house. Finally, we're sitting down with Spencer Bounds. Spencer, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's Friday. We're enjoying this beautiful, beautiful Arkansas Friday. And we're getting to sit down. We're getting to talk everything Suspence Entertainment. We're getting to talk everything Jonesbros. And I'm just really excited to just pick your brain about what it was like to start multiple businesses. And
stupid.
No, it's not stupid. You're a mastermind. Like, my thing is, I really value people that just go out there and just start.
Yeah.
Just go out there and do stuff and just learn as you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, take us back to the birth of what we're sitting in right now, Suspence Entertainment.
Okay, so I guess like how does Gary Vee say, like the comic book, like episode 1 or whatever, comic book number 1.
Yeah.
So
origin story.
That's it. Yeah. So I grew up in music. My parents used to kind of travel around and sing Southern gospel. So growing up, I used to go to these things called singings, right, at churches and stuff. And I used to help my dad, carry speakers in and all that jazz. And my parents have always had kind of music equipment and stuff sitting around at the house. Music's always been a huge part of my life. And I was going to church, and one of the girls there knew I had some speakers, stuff like that, and she asked for me to do her wedding. And I was like, I got some music. It's like, what's the worst that could happen, right? So I said, yeah, we'll do this. So I made this little, obviously from that point on, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a business, all this jazz. And the time is going to be called Bowtie Entertainment.
Bowtie Entertainment.
Bowtie Entertainment.
Where did you come up with these names?
I have no idea. I have a lot of free time. Or I had a lot of free time. So here's this one wedding. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a little Facebook post, whatever. And I get a couple other events like booked before I even do her wedding. I was like, okay, cool. So before her wedding actually takes place, and before all my gear, some stuff I ordered actually came in, I did this prom for a daycare, just like kind of right across the street over there.
Little Heroes?
Discovery Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Discovery Island. Okay.
So this is preschool. I'm doing a prom for preschool kids. And the owner's like, this is the kind of music that we listen to. And it's like car wash and, I don't know, just fun stuff, fun kind of kids stuff. So I'm like sitting in my room trying to think, okay, after this song's over, I'm going to start this next song. I'm going to do it like in this order. And so I'm doing it like in that order, Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, like that. And he's like, hey, let's play this song. I'm like, bro, it's not in the order, right?
Yeah.
But for me to do that gig, I had to borrow some lights from my church. I borrowed like 4 little like LED lights. I had these old speakers. They're somewhere around here, super heavy. I didn't have a DJ mixer. I had an old MacBook that didn't have a battery in it. And, Macs, the charger is just like a magnet. So if someone hit that charger, dude, the computer's off because there's like no battery at all. This was a really sketchy setup. All in like the back of my Mustang is what I was carrying all this stuff in. But that's kind of like, that was the first gig. And then I did my friend's wedding. I had some lights I ordered that came in. And then I did another wedding a couple weeks later for people I'd never met before. So this was like my first real wedding. And yet again, I only have 2 speakers at the time. I'm set up outside, but they want music inside for the ceremony. So I'm having to take, one of these speakers and some stuff inside to make it work inside. And I'll never forget, I was so nervous, but one of the bridesmaids, like during the wedding, passes out.
What?
Yeah, like during the ceremony, she's standing there they're, getting married or whatever. And one of the bridesmaids, like on the end, falls out. I'm like, what do I do? First real big wedding. I don't know what's going on. I'm thinking, like, do I play music? Do I not play music? Do I play Let the Bodies Hit the Floor? Like, what what do I play? And I'll never forget, I just played, I don't know, it's maybe like one of the songs that walked down the aisle to, like the bridesmaids and stuff. And I was in the balcony. It was at the silos. I was up in the balcony.
Okay.
And I looked down, and someone kind of looks up at me like, throws up like the thumb, like, yeah, good job. And I was like, okay. It was so awkward. But because that happened, I was like, okay, it can't really get much worse than this. And the day went on. Good wedding. Everybody danced to anything I played. And away we go.
Yeah, so after that happened, did you really start to think that this is something you could do more as a business, or was it just something you were like just picking up gigs here and there?
At the time I was working at a jewelry store, and this was just something I enjoyed. And on like the first year we did 15 events, and I was thinking, this is pretty cool, because at one event I could make more than I was making at the jewelry store, or pretty close to it at that time. And I didn't think.
What were you charging back then?
$200, $200, and you would get like a 10-foot light rack, which would have like 8 lights. You would get 2 speakers and a subwoofer, and then me as a DJ / MC. $200. It didn't matter how long, if you wanted it for 2 hours or 10 hours. $200. That's it. I learned really quick.
Yeah.
That was a bad idea. But I didn't really think of it as a career, or, even doing as many gigs as we do now. It was just something fun. But each year we grew and grew and grew, like times 3, times 4. And I had more people saying, hey, do you offer this service? Or, could we have more lights? Or do you have a smoke machine or whatever? And I think that's kind of how we started growing was, for instance, someone said, hey, do you have a smoke machine? I was like, do we have yeah, we got a smoke machine. And I book it, I'm like, I'm going to charge you $25 for a smoke machine.
Wow. And then the smoke machine was probably $250.
Yeah, because I didn't have it. I was like, now what? So I had to go buy a smoke machine, $250 or whatever. But next gig, now we're taking smoke machines and stuff. So my buddy Blake Warlow, he used to work at a bank, so I called him my financial advisor because he was all fancy, bank life. And I would say, hey, Blake, do you think we need to get a smoke machine? He's like, no, like we need, we just need to kind of grow slow. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to go buy a smoke machine. And that's kind of what happened. So we would grow as the demand. So if someone said, hey, do you have a laser light? Yeah, we got a laser light. Do you have a monogram light? Heck yeah, we got a monogram light. And it just goes on and on and on. So did it make any money? Nah, no money at all. Because I was just putting it right back in.
So you were doing this all on the side as you were still working at the jewelry store?
All on the side. Yes, sir.
Okay, so when was the first wedding? When was the first event that you did? And when did you change from Bowtie Entertainment?
I don't think I did a gig under Bowtie Entertainment. I was talking to my friends some of that, like my idea for Bowtie Entertainment. And they said, man, that's stupid. And I was like, well, what am I going to call it? And one of my buddies, we went to play laser tag back in the day.
Galactic Hurricane laser tag?
Nah, it was at the bowling alley, Hijinks. It was like when it first got built.
Oh, okay.
And he spelled my name.
That wasn't that long ago then.
6 or 7
yeah,
years, or something like that. Yeah,
it's crazy.
And I was like, I don't really have any cool nicknames, so he typed in Suspence, and he spelled it with a C, so Suspence instead of SE. I was homeschooled. I didn't know the difference. Like, okay, cool, whatever. But then I realized it was like a play on my name, and I was thinking, hey, what about like Suspence Entertainment? And they're like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And that's what we did. We made like some cards, business cards and stuff. And all the time people would say, hey, this, like, why is it spelled like this? Basically saying, hey, you spelled this wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just kind of worked. We just kind of rode with it. And so now we're the Suspence Entertainment. That's spelled wrong, but my name is Spencer, so I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool, and I think if anyone knows the owner or you at all, they know that it's a play on your name.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. Cool little origin story. So, when did you start taking it a little bit more seriously than just a hobby?
So the first year, like I said, I was working at a jewelry store, and at that time, I was supposed to be working on Saturdays. Well, obviously, all weddings and stuff are on Saturdays most of the time, and I was looking for a career change, so I got a new job, and I put in my 2 weeks notice and stuff. It was during a snowstorm, so it didn't really work a whole lot. They were kind of closed some days and stuff. Well, I think it still had 3 or 4 days left of my 2 weeks notice, and the owner had that Facebook post that I posted. I think it was March of 2014 or something, and it said, I was super blessed to have every weekend in, I forgot what month it was, June or whatever. We had every weekend booked for DJing, which was only 4 gigs. And I went into work, and some of the duties that I'm supposed to do before the store opens was already done. And the boss met me, and he printed off that Facebook post. And
why?
I guess he was mad.
He was mad that you were doing something when you were not at work?
Well, I was supposed to work on Saturdays, right? But we had a long conversation months before then, and I thought the agreement was he would let me off because it's 3 or 4 hours on Saturday. So a half day. He would let me off without pay, and I could do this because I was making more DJing than I could almost the whole week at the jewelry store. So I just thought, hey, we're gonna book more stuff, and everything's gonna be cool. But apparently everything wasn't cool. So luckily, that was during my 2 weeks notice time. So I got my new job, and now I have Saturdays off. And my schedule, if I need off a Friday or something, my boss will let me kind of move my schedule around for work to have those days off. So now I have more availability, so I could book more stuff. So the first year we did 15 gigs. I think the second year we did maybe 64, 65 gigs.
Was this just exclusively DJ gigs at the point?
Yeah, just DJing. And that would be weddings. We started doing some proms. We did a little father-daughter dance at Valley View, little little kids. We started doing some stuff at Dillard's to a customer appreciation. So I'm thinking, hey, there's more than just weddings going on. I think I started DJing at the Vault, and then Justin. That's where kind of Justin comes into play. I've known Justin Loggins, DJ Just Us, for a long, long time.
I mean, I understand this is the play on your name, but Just Us, did you help him come up with that, or is that just...
Bro, he said, side note, so we were trying to figure out a DJ name for him. And Ethan Hendricks, you remember him?
Yeah.
One of the bartender guys?
Yeah.
He said, dude, you should be Spinny Loggins, which is a play off of Kenny Loggins, because Justin's last name is Loggins. So
yeah.
Spinny, spinning a disc or whatever, Spinny Loggins. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. He's like, nah, that sounds stupid. And then he came to me, he's like, yo, I think, what do you think about DJ Log Dog?
That's horrible.
I was like, what? He said, yeah, DJ Log Dog, and you can have it, you have a lab setting on a log. I was like, dude, it reminds me of poop.
Yeah.
What? But for a minute, he wanted to be DJ Log Dog.
This is just my personal opinion. I think it would have just been a lot cooler for him just to be DJ Justice, Justice.
Yeah, whenever he told me Just Us, I thought he said Justice. I was like, yeah, DJ Justice, that sounds cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
You could do a shield, it's your logo or something, Captain America kind of stuff. He's like, no, Just Us. It's only us, it matters, just us. I was like, that sounds cool too. Yeah. but it works. It works for him.
Yeah.
But so I was DJing at the Vault, And we bump into each other. Hey man, how you been? All this stuff. Oh, I didn't know you DJ. I was like, yeah, I've been DJing a little bit now. He's like, man, I love to DJ. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, dude, you can help me at some weddings, and I'll teach you how. And so he started helping me, and he was available on weekends, and he got really good. So then we're like tag teaming weddings, and they're going awesome. And I was like, hey, like, here's an event coming up. I want to book both of these. Like, what if I help you set up, and then you just DJ it, and then I'll go do the other one. And he's like, yeah, I think I can do that. And my buddy Blake, financial advisor, he would kind of chaperone, make sure everything's going well, because Blake still to this day knows everything about our business, how to do everything. So he would kind of help Justin set up some stuff and kind of get it going. And then now we can do 2 events a weekend, or one on a Friday when I have to work and one on Saturday or whatever. And then it just starts growing from there. So that's how Justin came in.
Yeah. Okay. So now it is a DJing duo, just us and Suspence spelled
Suspence with a C.
Suspense with a C. Okay. So at this point, still, like, you brought in Justin.
Yep.
Where did you see the business going?
I probably should have just stuck with DJing, but just opportunities came that just made sense, I guess. So I don't know if this was before Justin or right kind of in the middle of Justin or what, but Andrew Tippett,
Yeah.
karaoke. So he's doing karaoke at B-Dubs, and I meet him, and we become friends and all that good stuff. And he came to me one day. I think I've been doing it maybe for like a year or 2 years, whatever, DJing. And he said, hey, I have a lot of people coming up to me at B-Dubs asking for me to do karaoke at their restaurant. And I was thinking, you have some speakers. I know how to do karaoke. So would you be interested in maybe doing like karaoke at these places and I just run it for you? I was like, yeah. So that's what we did. So I bought a couple smaller, pretty cheap speakers, but they worked. Bought some microphones. We were using his laptop. We bought the program and all the songs, which are a little pricey. But then we start doing karaoke at Sully's on Main Street in Jonesboro. So now we're doing karaoke and we're doing DJing. So now those event numbers each year are growing more because now we're doing more stuff. Our name's being out there more. Then I wanted to buy a photo booth because I'm watching all these people on YouTube, bigger companies and stuff. They have photo booths, and that's when photo booths is really getting popular. So I was thinking, all right, I wanted a photo booth. And at the time, there was a company called Shooting Stars Photography, I think. And it looked pretty homemade, but they were charging like $600-700 for a photo booth. I was like, what the heck? Again, I'm only charging like $200, I'm thinking, how are they doing this?
This is ridiculous that you're still charging $200.
I might have raised it up to like $300.
Oh, okay.
It was still really cheap. So I wanted to buy this photo booth, and they said it's going to be like $50,000 for a photo booth.
So a college degree for a photo booth.
College degree. I was like, I ain't got no college degree, but I know that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, that's not happening. But like the husband of the couple was he's older, getting in bad health, all that stuff. So I was thinking, months down the road, like, what if I just, instead of trying to buy it, what if I just ran it for them? So then they're kind of give me, if they're doing a photo booth at a school prom or at a wedding, that'll give me a good reason to kind of plug my DJ business to see if I can, double up that. So I was going to ask them about just running it and getting like a percentage or something. And then they came back with a way smaller number. And they said, why don't you just buy it? And at that time, they had 3 or 4, I think it was like 3 or 4 bookings already booked that we would get all the money. It was like $600-700, like already coming to us. Came with a trailer, came with all the props, like everything we need. So me and a buddy named Jonathan Cheese, we decided he would be kind of a partner in it, and this is X amount of dollars per month for so long, and we just take over ownership. So we did that. So now we're doing DJing, karaoke, photo booth, and it just kind of slowly progresses in there. Now, again, at my day job, I get to travel and stuff for my day job. They send me to different places. So I would see stuff that's happening in Chicago or Denver or Dallas that's not happening here. So like coat check or like valet parking and stuff like that. So then we were just thinking, what does it take to make this happen? Why don't we just do it? No one else is doing it. We have just like a blank canvas. So we started adding all these other services. We used to, more friends are just hanging out with us at weddings or whatever. So we're just like, hey, if you're going to be here anyway, just to help me set up, why don't I pay you and you do this or this? And it just slowly started to grow and grow and grow to where we are now.
So when you were looking at these other markets in Chicago and different places, why did you think that doing coat check and things like that was going to catch on in the Arkansas market?
Well, it gets cold here every now and then. And I mean, some like weddings, mainly weddings, are, if you say it or not, you're always comparing your wedding to a wedding that you attended. Or,
Sure.
You're always trying to one up your friends. If you like it or not, that's kind of how it is. So now we're kind of getting like a different clientele, kind of more upper class clientele. And they're just like, coat check? Sure, let's do that. Like we did a wedding.
So what exactly is a coat check? I'm just confused.
Coat check. All right. You walk in as a guest, you walk into your wedding, and then here's a girl or guy, whoever, sitting at a table with coat racks behind them. You drop off your coat at the door. They give you a ticket. You enjoy your night. You come back. You get your coat, purse, briefcase, umbrella, whatever, and then you leave. Because like whenever it gets cold, you got your mink coat or whatever on the back of your chair. You got your purse you're going to hold on to. While
how many times would you say you've actually booked that service?
3 or 4 times. Not a lot because it doesn't get cold here really. But we have it to offer it. That's all up there. I didn't realize I had to buy like 200 coat hangers. Not the plastic ones either, like the wooden ones. Can't be looking cheap.
That's true. Man, that's crazy. Because I've heard you explain like all of your services, but yeah, that was one that was always puzzling to me. Like, why would you think, man, that's gonna be a good idea?
We had someone.
Do you think it was worth it putting it on there for the 3 or 4 times?
So it's paid for itself. So now if we book it, cool. If we don't book it, I'm not losing any money, But it's just something that we offer that other people don't really want to offer. So it kind of separates us like that. And we're willing to do kind of different things too. So we had someone who was getting married at is it Jerry Allison or Johnny Allison? The place, the tower, the Red Wolf Tower at the football stadium.
I want to say Jerry, but don't quote me on that.
Mr. Allison.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're like, hey, we're going to have a reception up here. Do you have anybody that could be elevator attendants? I said, what? They said, yeah, elevator attendants. I said, yeah, we got elevators.
Yeah, so a smoke machine. Yeah, we got a smoke machine.
So straight up, man, I had 2 people in the elevators. As you walk in, they say, oh, hey, good evening. And they push the button for you, and they take you to the top floor.
How much did you charge for an elevator?
I have no idea. Probably wasn't enough.
Okay, Spencer, so this is just a random question for you. Have you ever heard of the Enneagram? And if so, what's your Enneagram type?
No.
Okay, basically it's just like a personality type.
Yeah.
So I think
like the disc profile thing.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to the disc, but this is like kind of like the new disc. Basically, you can be one of 9 types.
Okay.
So without going into it too much, 1 is the reformer, 2 is the helper, 3 is the achiever, 4 is the individualist, 5 is the investigator, 6 is the loyalist, 7 is the enthusiast, 8 is the challenger, and 9 is the peacemaker. So we needed you to take that test because me and my wife have already placed some bets on where we think you fall on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I don't know. Probably not like a peacemaker guy.
no, I see you more as like a achiever or a challenger or like an enthusiast, one of those 3. So you're either a 3, 7, or an 8. So I'll send you the test after this.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see what your results are.
And all your listeners can place bets or comments on
Yeah.
this episode.
Yeah.
And they might get some clever angle swag
Yeah.
coming soon in
Coming
2022.
2022, we're coming with the clever angle swag. But yeah, the last person that I interviewed, she was all into the Enneagram, so we swapped stories about our Enneagram.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's cool.
But yeah, just some of the stuff that you do, or you're saying that you've done, like within this story, I'm like, yeah, I need to know your motivations.
We've done some shuttle services, so we you got any golf carts? Do we got a golf cart?
Do you have golf carts?
No.
Oh, okay.
But there's a place in what is it, Collierville, Tennessee, or something like that?
Yeah.
Cordova.
Cordova. Yeah.
Well, the trailer I had, I was borrowing it from a buddy, was only big enough to hold one golf cart. These are like the long golf carts that have like 6 or 8 seats in it. So we had to make 2 trips there and back to get 2 golf carts. And then 2 days later, make 2 more trips there and back to drop them off. We've done that multiple times. But someone needed something. I was like, sure, I got it.
It's shocking to me that you still do this as like a part-time gig.
I know, right?
Is that something that you want to like transition to do this full time, or do you not see yourself pulling the trigger and always having a day job?
So I really enjoy this job. I call it a job.
It is a job, man.
It is now. It's not really a hobby anymore. They say if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Although, yet again, mainly doing weddings, it's the happiest day of someone's life every weekend.
Stressful.
Very stressful. And we've had some bridezillas, and we haven't been perfect. No one's perfect. But I will own up to whatever mistakes we've made, and we try to make it right, either financially for the bride and groom or, whatever the case may be. It is stressful. You're in a service industry, but I really like it. So to answer your question, do I see this like being a full-time gig, quitting my day job? I think I would have to figure out a way to make sure the business has like longevity. So, I can't DJ every wedding. I can't, DJ every club gig or whatever.
Yeah, but we've talked about this many times off air.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to if you're not able to put adequate time within the business.
True. So I think finding a way to put in adequate time. And even like right now, this is mid 2020. And I've kind of hired someone to help with assisting stuff. So emails, Facebook messages, stuff like that. So that's kind of one less thing I really have to do hands-on. Then I have another guy who's helping here at the warehouse, keeping wires and pulling gear for events and stuff. So that's something else I don't really have to do as much now, which gives me more time to grow it a little bit. But also I have to find people who can kind of take the place of me. And, like Andrew's probably not always going to do karaoke, but karaoke is a good service. So we need to find more people who can kind of take the place of Andrew and everything still run the same way. So if I can start doing stuff like that, finding kind of people and kind of phase myself out, but everything is still running smoothly, we're still winning awards, stuff like that, then that's really going to give me hope that it could be a long business. Because if it's just me, then that means it's just going to end with me.
Yeah.
So
this is something I've thought of just randomly just now. Have you ever thought about like hosting like a DJ course or something like on a Saturday, and just having people come up here and learn the basics, charge them for that, and make it like a fun interactive experience, and you can make money within the business?
I've never thought about that, but I almost feel like
Like a workshop, almost like
yeah.
a DJ workshop.
So like I know how to play guitar, and I could probably give someone lessons, but it's just gonna be like really basic because I taught myself how to play guitar. Unlike if you went to Backbeat Music and got guitar lessons, you're also going to learn like music theory and different scales for guitar and stuff like that. So then you're going to know how to do
So
more
are you saying
stuff.
you don't feel qualified to be able to teach somebody how to do something?
In a sense, yeah.
Well, this is my thing, Spencer. Once you start making money
Yeah.
doing stuff like that, you are a professional.
Yeah.
You're no longer an amateur. You're not doing this out of your mom's basement. You're not doing this for Instagram followers. People come to you for a service,
Yeah.
and you're making money doing it. So I think you just need to lean into that. And it's kind of hard to get out of your own way. But I mean, I think these are just kind of things that you can be thinking about if that's something that you really want to do. You may not want to do that. You might want to be doing something else with your time. Like we haven't even talked about Jonesbros, but you might want to be like transitioning into that as more like a full-time gig. But it's just something I think
it'd
about.
be a good idea for sure. Because I mean, we got to find more people who because I mean like DJing. So like for us, we use DJ mixers, right? It has like the jog wheels or like the little wicka things. But there's still a bunch of other DJ companies out there who just use a laptop. They use iTunes, Spotify, or some stuff called like virtual DJ. And some people might just want to do the laptop. Some people might want to do the DJ mixer. So I think having a course might be a cool way. You can both be really good DJs because the root of it is just like playing good songs at the right time.
Yeah, you could almost have like a course or whatever where you're kind of teaching people the basics, and then like at the end of the course it's like you kind of have like a DJ battle between like all the people that were within it, and get somebody to film it, and then that's just like a cool thing you do every now and again. And because I just remember they had like a kind of like a DJ contest or whatever at the Brick House. Like you came up there, you could enter it just based off your playlist, and you would go against different people. It was kind of almost like a tournament of sorts.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of when I think of Suspence Entertainment, and different ways you can grow.
Yeah.
But, that's just me.
I think it'd be cool for sure. And also like kind of different ways to grow and stuff. Like we're kind of at a point now where we're hosting like our own events. So like if we have an available weekend, instead of just not doing anything, well, we're going to try to book a show. And it's going to be either like a 90s party or like we did like this underground hip hop thing, and we brought in local rappers who doesn't really have a place to like actually perform on stage besides like Spotify or SoundCloud or something. So it was a cool way to kind of get that scene growing. We're not really DJing, or Justin is DJing like their music to rap to, but it was just kind of cool to get the name Suspence Entertainment out there, as in we're not just DJs. We're not just for weddings. We're not just karaoke. We're the whole entertainment business, the whole world of it, of entertainment.
Yeah, you say that you're the whole world of entertainment.
That sounded very conceited.
No. I just have a question for you.
Yeah.
Especially being a lot in the wedding space. Why have you never tried to branch out into the photography, videography part of the wedding, seeing how that is like, from what I've known of getting married and just being a part of weddings and different factors, that's the most lucrative part of getting married.
It is.
From the entertainment standpoint.
So again, it's like, do I want to be a photographer, or do I want to be a videographer? Or do I want to find someone who's kind of getting started and then let them kind of shoot under the Suspence Entertainment brand?
Exactly.
Because I'm not saying like we are the best company. some Reader's Choice Awards might say we are, but I'm not going to say it, right? So I think it would be wise to have, so if I'm just starting out with photography, if I had a company like us saying, hey, if you shoot under our brand, we can give you tons and tons of leads. So then you have more practice, you have more opportunities to get, more working and stuff.
Have you ever thought about getting like interns or something, like from the college?
Dude, I've thought about it, but I just simply don't know how to do it.
Just email, probably.
Right, and then like, what kind of interns would I get?
I think you definitely have to get somebody from like the media, creative media. So I mean, you can get somebody from like the. I think that's some classes you can take at ASU, like photography classes and majors and minors and different things like that. I know there's like a broadcast journalism type of degree that might fall into, but I think that you could probably just reach out, because I'm thinking about doing that with my own company, to try to get some people that are, learning, still trying to find their way, and they get experience, and then you get help. So I mean, that's a win-win, especially if it's going towards like credit. That is their payment in a way. So
yeah, I mean, since the whole pandemic thing, I've had a lot of time to think about different things.
Yeah,
and that's something I have been thinking about for sure. Kind of because, like, side note, my girlfriend's mom, she has like this like psychology company, I guess, and she has some interns working for her, and they're like, yeah, like they're just kind of working for free, but they're doing like graphic design or web development or whatever. And I was thinking, wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you could even get like a marketing intern.
Yeah,
and that would be valuable. Hey, you want to handle our social media and promoting us or whatever, we'll give you some credit for your class. We'll sign off on it.
Yeah,
and then that's something you don't have to worry about.
Right.
And even like you can just keep cycling them in. Like every semester, if someone signs up, then that's just something you don't have to worry about in a way.
And I mean, like, as we are growing, I think it would be wise to do something like that, because then it is no longer a hobby. For the longest time, it's just been a hobby on the side. And if I continue to treat it and run it like a hobby, although it's growing very big, it's always just going to be a hobby. But if I start trying to find interns for web development, or really trying to find photographers and videographers to shoot under our brand, and start running it as a business, then it's going to start growing as a business instead of as a hobby.
100%. 100%. So what do you think the next step for Suspence Entertainment is right now?
Finding a photographer and video.
Okay.
So like I said, since the pandemic thing, like we're changing up the way that we do business. We're kind of going back to some of our roots, because, whenever we first started doing 15 events, we had time to sit and have coffee with every single bride and groom. And as we've grown, there's been times where we just get the song list off of, an email that they send us, and we don't really actually have that face-to-face communication. So I think kind of going back to stuff like that. Train. Yeah. I forgot what you asked.
No, I said, what was the next step?
Next step.
You said you were getting back to your ways. You
kind of getting back to the ways. I think, what I think would be cool was, like, as we grow with more DJs or more whatever, I obviously kind of fade myself out a little bit, but say, like, okay, so I'm going to book the wedding. You're going to contact me. I'm going to book the wedding. But now Justin is going to be your DJ. So now Justin's going to be the guy that you're going to reach out to for songs. He's going to go to the meeting with you, and you're going to be working with him. He's going to be kind of over your account, I guess you could say. So I think doing stuff like that, like kind of delegating pieces of the business to other people. And like something else I was kind of thinking of was, I think the Navy SEALs say that you can only successfully lead like 4 or 6 people successfully, right?
Really?
I think so, yeah. So I I would think I want to build like a leadership team in a way, because like right now, all the service we have DJing, photo booth, valet parking, coat check, limo, event cleanup, stage rental, outdoor light. Like we do a bunch of stuff. So what if I had someone who was over the transportation department? So now they're over the limo, they're over valet parking, they're over that kind of stuff, making sure that the limo's clean, making sure it has gas in it, and then have someone who's over DJs. So then instead of me having to go make sure everything is set up correctly, make sure if someone forgets something, me going and run out, to Paragould or whatever to drop off a wire. Now that one person is in charge of the DJs, and kind of breaking it up like that. And then I would kind of relay to them like my vision and kind of put a little pressure on them for growth just for those 3 or 4 people. But then below them, they have 3 or 4 people, 5 people, whatever the department needs. So I think doing it like that could be the next step, because obviously we have to get more bookings and more gigs, maybe different services, because again, most of our business only comes from weekends. Photographers, videographers, well, mainly photographers, they can do senior photos, they can do family photos, they can do engagement photos, all that stuff throughout the week, and then do weddings on the weekends. So if this is ever going to be a full-time gig, a full-time career, then we have to find a way to do more events throughout the week or something like that. Because, I don't think a career like this can only be me. But we also have to find a way to grow either in the entertainment business, or if it's like booking entertainment for different restaurants, bars, venues, that kind of stuff. Well, then that could use someone throughout the week doing those calls and scheduling and booking and stuff. So I don't know, just finding a way to, I guess, get more bookings and stuff, and then delegating so it's not just me.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of a muddy answer, but
No, it's not muddy. It's just it's interesting for sure. So, how do you think that? What's the first step of getting there?
So, like I told you, I just hired my personal assistant, but it's just like trying to teach that person how to create invoices and how to make sure that everybody has paid their deposit and make sure everyone's signed a contract. So it's just learning how to let go of stuff. Because whenever you start your own business, this is my business. Like I've been a part of everything. I've helped grow everything. If anyone has any questions, I'm that guy. I'm not saying I don't need to be involved in every part of my business, but it's learning how not to constantly look over someone's shoulder, making sure it's done right. Because I know in the long run, it's going to be so much better. So I think, first step is letting this person, have control of, all right, if someone owes money or whatever, I'm going to send out a payment reminder. And I'm going to start scheduling consultations and putting it on your calendar, Spencer. So you got to make sure you look at your calendar, because I'm booking this stuff if you like it or not, because that's what the business needs. And making sure that, we have a designated DJ already months in advance lined up for this event, and making sure that that bride and groom knows that their DJ is this person. So just stuff that I usually do, letting someone else have complete control over it. That's what James Bickham did. He has Haley, and she does all of his texting and emails and all that stuff, which gives him more time to focus on what he does, actually running, operating the business and stuff. So I think that's really going to help. And I think having someone here at the warehouse that is responsible. It's like you have to unload the trailer. You have to make sure everything is rolled up correctly. If anything is damaged, we need to get it fixed. And if it's not, you are the only person in charge of it, So, because it's growing the business, it's just been a bunch of friends having fun, partying on the weekends, because we're entertainment. This is what we do. But if we're going to do it as a business, there has to be
a little bit more structure.
Yeah. And it's like, before it's like, okay, like, this isn't done. I guess I'll just do it. I have some free time on my hands. I'll unload this thing or whatever. But now it has to be, it's like, no, this is your job. With it not being done puts us behind down the road. So just trying to have the accountability, I guess, like giving up some of my control, I guess, and putting it on other people and then holding them responsible for that. But again, we have to pay them for the responsibility. So this is all the stuff I'm kind of learning and trying to do, because every business, if it's just a family business or if it's like a publicly traded business, like one person is not running the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was a great history lesson in Suspence Entertainment. I just want to touch on
Red Bull's kicking in.
Yeah. I just want to touch on Jonesbro for a second. So that's your gentleman's brand. I've been shouting you out on my podcast.
I've heard.
So the Clever Angle Watch List Wednesday. Anytime I get a chance, I'm shouting you out because I really love the product. Arkansas supporting Arkansas. That's my motto for my media company that I'm trying to build as well. So, where did you get the idea for Jonesbro, and what is it exactly?
So Jonesbro,
I kind of equate it to like Fayette Chill, like the shirts and stuff.
Yeah,
that's what it reminds me of.
So Fayette Chill is like a play off of Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Right? But Fayette Chill is more of, like, if you look at their shirts, it's more of like hiking and outdoorsy, kind of like Patagonia.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff.
The natural state, man.
The natural state, yeah. And then there's also companies like, is it Turnrow Boutique, or I don't know, something to do with farms, right? So you have all those like farm kind of designer brands and stuff like that, and then you have like outdoor stuff, but there's really nothing like me. Like, I like kayaking, but I'm not super passionate about kayaking.
Yeah.
And I've never been on a tractor before. So is there a company or a brand that's kind of like in the middle? Like, there's a lot of entrepreneurs, because if you listen to Clever Angle, you hear a lot of them.
Yeah.
So there's no like brand or design or company that's kind of marketing to that narrow space. So that's kind of one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is, like, for the longest time, I had to tie my dad and all my brothers' ties and stuff, and I was helping them shine their shoes because I didn't really know how. But it's because my grandfather, he's the one that taught me. He would have taught everyone, but no one picked up on it. So now I'm into the kind of like the classier stuff, Instead of drinking beer all the time, I'm more of like a scotch kind of guy, or a cigar. Not because I think I'm better than everybody. It's just you enjoy the funner things in life. So kind of being a more old school kind of gentleman feel, like I like wearing suspenders and ties, and I like shining my shoes, and I like watches and stuff. That's just kind of who I am. And then I don't know, it's just being a gentleman. I don't know. I forgot where I was going with it.
No, we're just talking about the origin stories. What does it mean to you, man?
So, I mean, like, that's kind of where it came from. And
tell me about the name.
The name. Megan actually came up with the name.
What are some other potential names that you had before you decided on that one?
One of the other ones that I really wanted to do, because, like, the overall goal is, imagine like a cigar kind of cigar lounge, gentleman's lounge, not like a strip club, but like a real lounge.
Like somewhere you just hang out with your guys.
Scotch, yeah. So I was thinking Smoke and Ice.
Ooh, I like that, though.
Right?
That's pretty tight.
Right?
Yeah.
I was thinking, dude, that'd be cool. Let's go, hang out at Smoke and Ice tonight. I was like, that sounds awesome. And then Megan, she was in Nashville. Megan's my girlfriend. She was in Nashville, and she went to text me something about Jonesboro, and she spelled Jonesbro by accident. And then she's like, dude, like, this is this is really cool. She said, like, for your idea, you should call it Jonesbro. I was thinking, oh my gosh, like what? You got Fayette Chill, Jonesbro. And then I think before that, I was visiting a buddy in Nashville. Nashville is very hipster type. Every place you go to is a bar. Every place has music. So he went to get a haircut at this barber shop. So you walk into a barber shop. There's like 6 barbers, like along like the left side of the wall. You walk in and there's a counter. You sign up, and then behind the counter is like a bar. So while you're waiting for your $45 haircut or whatever it is in Nashville, you can have a drink. And then you can go chill in the middle of this place, and there's a couple of couches and chairs, and you just kind of hang out. So this is what's going on. So they're hanging out. Some people's drinking. You got barbers on like the left side. And then like in the back corner, you see a 2-piece band setting up. And then you see a guy, like they're setting up a table, and he's going to start selling like his leather keychains and belts and stuff. And here's just one is a barber shop, but you can enjoy a drink. You got some music. You can kind of shop around. I was thinking, dude, like this, like later on, I was thinking that's what Jonesbro needs to be. It needs to be a place where, so our slogan is Jonesbro, where men are made. So you can take your little boys in there, your college kid, high school, whatever, and learn, like I did for my grandfather, how to tie a tie and how to polish your shoes and how to take care of stuff. Take care of your shoes. They're going to last a lot longer, right? And or if you want to learn, like, oh, I've just been drinking Natty Light, but I want to know the difference between whiskey and bourbon. You can learn it there. Or if you want to have a business meeting instead of going to Starbucks or something, you can have it at
Smoking Ice.
Hey, right? So that's just that's the plan. So
what's phase 1?
So phase 1 is an online store. So back to Suspence Entertainment, everything is operated debt-free. It takes a whole lot longer and a lot slower to get it going, but it just runs better. So stage 1 of Jonesbro, we have inventory, as you can see it on that shelf over there. And we own everything, which, yet again, is kind of expensive. But we want to just do like an online store for right now. So we've done like some pop-up shops at some outdoor kind of like festivals and stuff. And we've had a really good response with it.
What kind of items do you have in your online store currently?
So our biggest, seller would be our shirts. So we have some that has, it's the Arkansas state, but then where Jonesboro is, there's a mustache. So it's like, it's like the pinpoint. So that's like a Jonesboro shirt. We have one that has a compass on it, and it actually has the coordinates of Jonesboro on the bottom of it. We have a top hat. We have one with our logo. We have one that says "Call Me Old Fashioned." It has like the little drink, like old fashioned drink. So those are like our designs. So we're kind of push that to help grow the brand. But then we also have all the colorful socks. We have beard oil, beard wax. We have the shaving brush, the big fuzzy brush, you put on your face. We have money clips. We have wallets. We have flasks. We have cigar holders.
Do you have ties?
We do not have ties.
See, that's crazy that you tell a story about learning from your grandfather.
And we ain't got no ties.
And you don't have any ties. You got socks, no ties.
We were going to get some of those wooden bow ties. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Those look pretty cool. I'm not saying we're not going to get ties and stuff. We just don't have any in our inventory at this time. So we have humidors. We have some whiskey glasses. I don't know, just kind of that stuff that you could find online. So, ladies, if you don't know what your husband, boyfriend, or fiance wants,
yeah, you need to.
Need
to come up with like a little, like a bundle or something someone can get. Like
they're bro boxes.
Yeah. Oh, you have a bro box.
A bro box. Yeah.
What's all in a bro box?
Right now I have no idea.
But, okay.
Yeah. So the plan is we're gonna come up with some different boxes. It's like gift sets. So you're gonna have like the bro stuff box, or the bro box, or the broski box, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Different bro names for different packages. So that's kind of phase one. Oh, we got coffee mugs too. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, I've seen one. It's pretty cool. I'm excited for those pictures to come out because I was actually a part of it. And yeah, they're pretty comfortable shirts. Like I said, I dig the mugs. I dig everything you got going on. So yeah,
thank you, sir.
Ready for phase 2 for
they're
sure.
All,
the bro boxes.
They're comfort colored shirts and Bella canvas shirts. So we try to, they're a little on the pricier side, but they're really, really good quality, and they're gonna last a really long time too. So yeah, that's kind of phase 1. Phase 2 got kind of blown away, like literally. We were gonna move from an online store to like a kiosk in the mall, but if you haven't heard, Jonesboro had a pretty bad tornado a few months ago. It blew them all away. So now phase 2 is kind of no longer an option. So we're gonna try to figure out phase 2, but the ultimate goal is to have a storefront where all you bros and gents can come and hang out.
Well, Spencer, I appreciate you sitting down with me, man. Like, this has been a very informative interview. We honestly could probably go for another hour, but I know you've got plans with the girlfriend. It's my wife's birthday as well today, so we'll wrap it up. So is there any other things that you want to get out there about either one of your companies? What do you want to tell the listeners before we get off here?
If you're looking for an entertainment company, any type of entertainment, look us up. Suspence Entertainment.
Suspense Entertainment. 10 hours for $200.
And then if you're looking for some bro stuff, either for Father's Day, Christmas, birthdays, bachelor parties, whatever, you should check us out. We're here local in Jonesboro, but it's Jonesbro. So we can get you hooked up for sure.
Where can they find you and your businesses online?
So Jonesbro is just jonesbro.com. Suspence Entertainment is SUSPENCE entertainment.com. Those are the same for Facebook and Instagram. Our Jonesbro Instagram, I'm trying to put more work into it, and we're trying to interact with more people. So we do like this thing called #NameThatGent. So we posted a picture.
You're posting like these super old time. I'm like, who is that?
Right? But there's always a couple guys who are like, oh yeah, that's that's Churchill, or that's Orville White.
Yeah, I think you need to get some more updated. Gents,
we going to. So I don't know, just kind of stuff like that, because ultimately I think Jonesbro is more. It could be like a community thing. It's like, instead of, I shop at Dillard's, you're not a Dillard, right?
Yeah.
But shopping at Jonesbro can make you a Jonesbro. So it's just kind of like building that community. It's like, oh, like, I don't know how to tie, but this bro can show me how. Or, oh, you like this cigar? Well, this bro had the same one, whatever. So anyway, check us out on all social platforms or online. And whenever we get a storefront for Jonesbro, you're going to have to come check us out in the back room at Smoking Ice.
Yeah, Smoking Ice. Dude, that really is an awesome name. I think you should very least, do like a Smoking Ice shirt. Like, I would buy that shirt.
All right, I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
I'll make it happen. All right,
so this has been another episode of the Clever Angle Podcast. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts. If you feel inclined, give us a 5-star review. It really helps out the show. And until next week, peace.